No. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that too. Yes. We're here. And leading this race, first race of the weekend from Spanish Formula 4 is Nicholas Solov. Unfortunately, we did have some issues leading to the beginning of this race, but it has been mostly run under safety car for about 11 minutes. There's a multi-car incident on the opening lap of this race. So what I can tell you, with 9 laps completed and 2 minutes plus 1 lap remaining, take a breath. Nicholas Solov does lead the race, and we have Kirill Small and Timothus Kaczarczyk battling hard for P2, and Small does go through into second place. In turn 1, he's been threatening that for a couple of corners now. Kaczarczyk down to 3rd position. Christian Ho currently in 4th. Hugh Barter did actually start in 3rd place. He dropped down to 6th on the opening lap. Before the incident on the first lap, he is currently down up into 5th place so far. So as we have a replay now of Kaczarczyk defending into turn 1, moves out a little bit small, pulls out hard into the middle of the circuit, gets the upper ground. Kaczarczyk losing the position, having to fall into 3rd place. And Small now running in 2nd. We have another entry into the pit lane. That is Victoria Blakina, who's one of the debutants this weekend. That's something we can fill you in probably tomorrow on the other 2 races we have. Several new entries this weekend just for this round. Solov also has the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1 minute 47.645, which will put him in line for the bonus point in this race, as we see Hugh Barter fighting Christian Ho for 4th position. Coming to the back end of the circuit, he looks around the outside, not going to get through there, but it should really put a little bit of pressure on Christian Ho, as Hugh Barter fighting for that position to get into the top 4. Getting the podium position may be a little bit too tough. There's only 2 laps remaining as Solov closes on another race victory. Pole position in this race for the Bulgarian. It's a 13th of the season. He has provisional pole position for race 2 tomorrow morning as well. Of course, that'll be confirmed once the results from this race are finalised. As we see some action further down the field as well. This is Maxim Markinchelski fighting hard with Alvaro Garcia. It is over 20th and 21st positions. And the race really coming to a close. The driver is on now their penultimate lap of this race. Nicholas Solov on screen now leading this as he comes onto the back straight, a 1.8 second lead over the second place man Kirill Small. Kaczarczyk there in 3rd position. That's fairly solid. Christian Ho is 4th, 8/10 behind Kaczarczyk. That's going to be difficult for him to make that gap and try and overtake Kaczarczyk for the podium in the 1 and a bit laps remaining. Barter, meanwhile, is pressing hard as he's just trailing his MP Motorsport rival as they come around the final few corners into the chicane that was added, I think about 15 or so years ago. Barter gets very, very, very close to the chicane, but he actually does lose out slightly as they exit it and then come on to the final corner. He's closer this time round, though. He will try and draw in and have a go for 4th position as they come down the start-finish straight over the hump of the hill. Barter just behind Christian Ho, but it may not quite be enough to make the move. And it certainly isn't this time round. Meanwhile, Noah Stromstead in 6th position, sitting there waiting, hoping to take advantage. Should there be advantage to be taken? He started in 6th position, went up to 5th, dropped back down to 6th. As we see Solov, final lap of the race. And this would, if he can finish this race, of course, would be Solov's 11th win of the season. He's taken 11 or 10 of the 18 so far. Campos Racing, very impressive this season. Very, very impressive. Have actually taken 16 wins from the 18 races so far. As the drivers now Going around the back straight, Kacharczyk getting left wheels onto the dirt, coming round the right-hander. You have someone pulling him to the pits. That is Jesse Carrasquara. Disappointing for him. He actually started in 10th place in this race, was hoping for some points, having returned to Spanish Formula 4 last time out in Navarra. And Solov now coming through the final few corners to take his 13th win of the season. This will actually be the first time he's won in a couple of rounds. The last couple of events have been really all about Hugh Barter. But today it is about Nicholas Solov. And Barter has got through to Christian Ho to take 4th position, probably through the chicane. We'll hopefully see the replay in the moment, but Christian Ho's right there, as is Noah Stromstead. And very, very, very close, only 0.3 of a second covering them across the line. But Solov has won. Kirill Smile takes 2nd place, 1.4 seconds behind the race winner with Kacharczyk. 3.9 seconds behind the winner. Lost several seconds over those final few laps. Really, once Smile was through, that battle was lost. But congratulations from the marshals on the side of the circuit, applauding the race winner, Nicholas Solov. Christian Ho solidifying 5th place behind Hugh Barter, while Noah Stromstead came home 6th. Then there's a 4-second gap to Manuel Espirito Santo, while Daniel Nogales took 8th place ahead of Tesanapol Intrapuvazak. Points for him, the first time really in a while he's secured some points. And Valeria Rinacella rounds out the top 10. 11th place, Sebastian Gravlund. Solid effort. That car, that is the Max Meyer Formula de Campagnos car. He was one of the entries that actually went out on the opening lap. Finish the results. Robert De Haan, disappointing weekend so far for him. 12th finished ahead of Jonas Reed, one of the new entries from Monolith Motorsport this weekend. George Kelstrup 14th ahead of T. O'Neill for Santa Luc Racing in 15th, while Noah Lyle, the returning Noah Lyle, comes home 16th ahead of Miran Pinkasov. Ricardo Gracia 18th. Gianmarco Pradel 19th ahead of Alvaro Garcia 20th, while Maxim Markachelski 21st ahead of Marcus Flack 22nd. 23rd was Valasov Ryabov. Carl Bennett comes home 24th. And Francisco Soldavini for Cram Motorsport finishes 25th ahead of Theo Jensen. Daniel Malvitov finishes 27th. And Victoria Blokina did get out in the end. She comes home 28th and last. Jessica Carrasquara, as we saw, pitting right at the end. And 5 retirements, including Daniel Guinchard, Max Meyer, Jack Mackles, Gail Julien, and Bruno Dopino. But it matters nothing to the man on screen now, Nicholas Solov, race winner once again. And coming out to stand on top of his Campos racing machine, gives the V, well, the double V W celebration. 13 wins. Sorry, 11 wins, I should say, out of 19 races so far from his 13th podium. He's been imperious so far this season. Lots of photographs. This is a driver who a lot of people will be watching in recent years, over the coming years. You can see he has the overalls Alpine affiliate, spotted very much by Fernando Alonso, one of his little proteges, and hopefully this will be a relationship which continues as he goes further up the order, which I'm sure he will. The results coming on screen now. Relatively warm day at the Circuit de Catalunya, Barcelona. See Solov winning ahead of Kirill Smile, Timothy Kacharczyk, Hugh Barter 4th. Last lap ahead of Christian Ho, Noah Stromstead 6th, Manuel Espirito Santo 7th, Daniel Nogales 8th. Tesanapol Intrapuvazak 9th, and Valeria Rinacella Rounding out the points, Solov with the fastest lap gets that particular score. As I said, we've several new drivers this weekend, which we'll go through in races 2 and 3 with 34 runners. This is by far the biggest field we've had so far this season, and very, very welcome it is too. Jessica Esquada registered as having been classified despite not taking a checkered flag, pulled into the pits right at the end. In theory, we should see some a replay coming up in a few moments' time, which will give us an indication of what actually happened on that opening lap. But between the safety car going in and us regaining pictures, you really did not miss much at all. The drivers very much followed each other around, and I really must thank Kirill Small for holding on to that overtaking position right until the very moment we went live. One must love considerate drivers. So, several people enjoying some late November or mid-November racing at the Circuit of Catalonia. Clio Cup running as well as TCR, and Laura Martin interviewing race winner Nikola Solov in the pit lane. Nikola Solov, race winner. Seemed like a very steady drive for him, really, once the safety car got away. He had a little bit of a challenge from Kucharczyk as the race went green again following the safety car period. Solov took the inside line going into turn 1. Kucharczyk took the outside line, which would initially become the inside line of turn 2. But, as we see, Solov shaking hands with Hugh Barter. We did see, as I was about to mention, Kucharczyk went to the inside of turn 2, at which point Solov had more than enough momentum to kind of hold Kucharczyk at bay. And that really, in one swift move, that pretty much finished off the challenge for the lead of the race, following which Kucharczyk fell into the clutches of Small. So yeah, several drivers going off into the barriers, into each other really, on the exit of turn 2 in the opening lap. And that caused the safety car, several drivers going off in a same spot really, with only very few marshals on that corner. Would cause a little bit of delay, no doubt. Lockups there from Timotheus Kucharczyk. Kirill Small pressurised, eventually getting through into P2. This was a battle that went right to the line. Hugh Barter in the white machine pressing Christian Ho in the orange MP Motorsport machine for 4th place. They stayed very close together for the duration until the final couple of corners. And I think it was through the chicane at the end of the lap. Hugh Barter was able to feed his way through and take that 4th position. We do have the podium, and you can see it's actually getting quite dark at the circuit now. Kucharczyk taking his spot 3rd place on the right, and then on the left-hand side is Kirill Smyl. And now coming up to take the celebrations for the race win is Nikola Solov for Campos Racing. And a representative from Campos Racing to take the honours for the winning team. A few photographs. And the hats come off for the Bulgarian national anthem. And trophies now being delivered to the drivers on the podium. Kucharczyk taking his trophy for 3rd place. He's been very good this year. This is his first season of car racing. But what started very, very strongly over the first couple of rounds, he's maybe filtered out slightly in the second half of the season. Has been very much surpassed by Hugh Barter. We see Kirill Smyl and Solov getting their trophies as well for 2nd place and the race win. And the trophy now for the team representative for Campos Racing. It is an incredible statistic. Now, that is Campos Racing having won 17 of the 19 races so far this season, MP Motorsport taking the other 2. It's very much a swap from last season when MP Motorsport were dominant really throughout the year with Delano Van Toff. And that 2nd trophy for Solov is, of course, the rookie trophy, the 15-year-old. And we should, in a few moments' time, as everyone on the podium gets together, see the spraying of the Campion, I think it's called. All of the fizz and stickiness of champagne, but none of the alcohol. And now a pose where they look up at something. And they're struggling to get the caps off. Come on, chaps. No, still not done it. Ah, there you go. Victory for Nikola Solov. He celebrates, throwing some of the Campion to the crowd below. We did miss a chunk of that. We did have a safety car period for much of the race, thanks to, well, not thanks to, but because of that crash in turn 1. 3 or 4 drivers, I think it was 4 drivers got together. The last remaining car with the damaged front wheel actually pulled off later on the exit of Sector 1. We'll see it again now. Solov leads from Kucharczyk into turn 1. What I believe happened there was Hugh Barter actually went to the runoff area. And as you see, just going out of shot now, if you go wide, yeah, several drivers. I think there's quite a bit of damage in the pack as well, but basically all stemming from that one incident. But Hugh Barter had to take to the runoff area in turn 1, and you may notice there is a little bit of it's a kind of route that you have to take off in turn 1. This was installed for Grand Prix racing to ensure drivers don't just merely cut straight across. This is Smyl going through into 2nd place. And Hugh Barter taking positions back towards the end. He did drop down to 6th, took 5th. We didn't see that, but then took Christian Ho for 4th right at the end. As I said, with just only meters remaining. Solov, meanwhile, just stretched his legs and pulled away from the pack and took his 11th victory of the season. And just below, you see Smile coming into picture, then Kucharczyk. And then suddenly, it was Hugh Barter ahead of Christian Ho, although Ho ran Barter right to the line. And another fantastic victory for the Bulgarian. Well, that has been fantastic race again for Spanish Formula 4. And we will be back tomorrow for the second race of the weekend. That is at just after 10 a.m. UK, 11 a.m. on the continent. We will be back for the penultimate race of the season. My name's been Leo Gorman. Thank you very much for watching. And until then, goodbye.